In order to start the engine, one of the things I got to do is hook up a coolant. My coolant temperature gauge comes around over to here. And this is just a vintage one that I got off of eBay at some point or whatever. So there's the water temperature. It's all mechanical. And then also I'm going to be hooking up the oil line and come up for an oil gauge. So over here, I'm going to, originally there was the oil gauge, oil temperature gauge here. Let me go show you. So originally it had this right here. So oil, you had your water temperature and oil pressure in one gauge, and then this was your window squirters, the squirt your windshield up here. So I'm going to be eliminating this because this, you can see on the back, the temperature one, the line's broken off, but the oil pressure did work on this fitting right here. So the oil pressure did work, so maybe someday I'll pay to get that restored. But as for now, I'm just going to be using the water gauge that I got and an oil pressure gauge. So I made this little template, kind of similar to that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a piece of metal, 18 gauge, bend this over for strength, and then use it like this. Actually, the top is like that. So what I'm going to do is, then I can put the two gauges here, 2 inches in diameter. I just kind of use a piece of electrical tape roll to see about 2 inches where it'll fit. And then over here, I'm going to hang the high-low pressure, high-low lights off to the left. Then I'm going to leave this space kind of empty right here. So if I want to put on any switches in the future or anything, then I'll have this little space over here to put them in. So next thing I'm going to do is trace this onto a piece of metal. Okay, so here's what we got. I took this piece of cardboard, traced it over top of my 18 gauge metal, and then I just kind of cut it out with a cutoff wheel. And one side of it, I put a brace. I kind of just bent it down so then it'll be flat. And then I did a little brace over here just so it keeps a little bit of strength in there while it's sitting there. So here it is, a little test fit of our plate. So what we got here is we're going to have our gauges here, like I said, and the switches. And then this is going to be the mount for the high beam, low beam switch right here. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. I think it's going to fit in there pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is use my template here and punch the center marks for the holes that I have to drill. So what I did is I took my template here where I have everything kind of drawn out. You can see I center it up. Now here's my little bend that I made. I already bent it down. So then if I told it straight with this, then those center marks, I just took a hole punch, which is just like your, just punches the center of a hole. And did that, and then I drilled with a 1/8 drill right here. Just did a pilot hole here. And then I went over and I took the switch, the high beam, low beam switch, and I placed it on here and just took a Sharpie and marked 2 spots and drilled those out for sheet metal screws. The whole gauge is right here. So what I have here is I borrowed this from a friend of mine. I think it's 1 inch and 1/16 or whatever, or so, yeah. 1 and 1/16 or 52 millimeter diameter hole drill. So I'm going to drill these 2 holes out now. So the gauges will go in. I used the hole saw and cut these 2 holes out. And honestly, I'm going to tell you that this is extremely violent. When you start cutting down, oh, also very important, I started from the back side. I actually drilled them through from the back side because you can see it actually kind of walks around a little bit and it doesn't get you a nice circle. So if you go to do this, make sure you drill from the back side to the front. So when you go to the front, you see how it's not so choppy and it's not all chewed up, where in the back it's a little bit more chewed up in the back. So I took a Dremel and cleaned up the inside, and I took a flapper wheel and cleaned up around the outside. But back to my initial point, that this is extremely violent. When you start, make sure this thing is clamped down tight in a vise or on a table with some C-clamps or something. But once it starts cutting down, the first drill isn't bad, but when it starts hitting these teeth, it just starts grinding away like crazy, and it wants to catch and spin this thing, which I gotta tell you, it was pretty nasty. It caught my shirt a few times. So, okay, so we got our holes now with our 52mm drill. So this is an oil pressure gauge I got off of eBay, of course, because I always buy everything from eBay. So let's see, moment of truth. There you go. Hey, it fits in the hole. Gives you a little bit of play too, so it's actually a little bit bigger. The hole's a little bit bigger, so it fits straight down inside there pretty good. Try out the other one. And there you go. There's our two gauges. So I think I'm going to put water temperature at the top and oil at the bottom. So the next thing is I'm going to drill the holes up on top. And again, I'm going to use my template here where I have the top marked on the top, and there's already two holes up here and one hole in the bottom of my bulkhead. I'm going to reuse those holes and transfer it over to here and punch the marks. Okay, we're over at the truck, and these are the holes I want to reuse. Right here, this one's the one for the vent. It's going to go on here. I'm going to use that screw, and then this screw here that was holding in a switch for the heater, then this bottom hole over here. So with my template that I have, I drew lines about the same distance where these things are in a straight line. Same with this in a straight line. So I just kind of lined it up, and I took a center punch like this, and I punched the holes in there. So now I'm going to take this and over to the workbench to mark the plate. Here are the pieces and parts the way I'm going to hook up my oil pressure gauge. So originally it had one of those nice dual gauges. Let me show you right here. They have this. It has the oil and the water temperature on here, like I showed you just a second ago. So I'm just going to be putting in an oil pressure gauge. So I had this one laying around, and this goes up to 80 pounds, the gauge. Then this one I got off, it was an Army surplus place on eBay, and this one goes up to 100 pounds. So I'm going to use this one because the original one actually went up to 100 pounds. So I'm going to leave it as this, and we want to be, when we're out on the highway cruising around, roughly about 50 pounds or whatever. What is that, about 3.5 bar for everyone else? So it's about 50 pounds is where we want to be. So I thought this one might work, so I'll give it a try. So, to hook up the gauge and a mechanical gauge, originally, this is the piece that was originally right on the engine, and it had this, this bolts down. Okay, first, let's go back. Normally, you would have just your oil pressure switch. So, you would take the oil pressure switch out, use this adapter with this. This is the original one that came with the fancy gauge. So, then this would bolt down into your block. And you'd have these two copper washers in between here. Kind of like a banjo bolt. It's just a banjo bolt, basically. And then this would be fed over to your gauge. So, what I want to do is, I couldn't find a fitting. This is 7/16 by 20. And I couldn't find the fitting to fit on this. So, what I did is I went to Old Faithful eBay, of course. So, this is the kind of the lineup of how the pieces and parts are going to go. So I found this banjo part, and this is, here's, of course, I always write it down so you can see it. So it goes the 3AN, the 3AN fitting is on the end. It goes to 10mm or 3/8 inch, which is the hole opening, is basically the size of this bolt here, is about 3/8. Goes into a banjo fitting. So this fitting right here is this one here, and I'm reusing these copper washers that I had annealed already with a torch. So if something interesting, you can just go ahead and Google that. That's something new you can learn too. So, all right, so we got it, we're hooked up to here. We're not using this. I have it set up kind of how it's going to be on the engine. So the engine would be down here and it would bolt into there. So now we want to go from AN fitting to 1/8 NPT, and these are all 1/8 NPT or whatever. All these gauges, they all have 1/8 NPT on the back. So, and you can see there, it's actually rather large. 1/8 is actually measures out to almost a 1/4 inch thickness here for the gauge or whatever for the piece to go onto the end of it. So, all right, let's go back to what we were doing. So we need to go from AN to 1/8 NPT. So then I found another adapter. It was AN, there you go, 1/8 NPT adapter. I found it on eBay. This piece here was probably about $8 US, and this is about $7 US shipped to the house. So these two here, got those ones. So now we're set up to do the 1/8 NPT the rest of the way to the gauge. So what do we got? I found a kit on eBay. It has this nice copper line, which is actually a thick wall copper line to run your oil through or whatever. Instead of those plastic, you might have seen plastic or nylon ones. I would suggest not using those because they're not really the greatest. Or this is a little bit sturdier, you know, and strong. So I ended up finding this on eBay. I got this. I got a little grommet here they gave me, which is real fancy. Go through a hole. So I cut a little piece of it off just to represent the in-between this piece here. So you got your 1/8. This also came with it too. It came with 1/8 NPT, all these pieces here and this in the kit. So we got male. We have a female going into a male here. We have a little grommet here. I'll show you a little closer here. And then this holds onto here. And that little grommet goes onto the metal lines here. So the metal line, the next one goes into here, then there to there, and then that screws into the back of your gauge right there. So how do we get this? So here's our piece here. This is our metal brake line, not brake line, our oil line. So we put this piece on first. We put our little grommet or knurl thing or something, I think they call that. So you take that, you put that into there, and you tighten this down just like that. So then as you tighten this down onto here, it crushes that little piece, this little piece here, and it pinches onto here and gets a nice tight seal onto there. So that's how you would hook it up, and then you would have this one onto here, then this onto here, just the same, going over with like a longer piece. You'd run a piece from your engine where your oil filter is over to behind your dash to here or whatever. So that's my plan that's what I'm going to be installing now is this. Another option, if you really want to get fancy, this is a flexible line that can come off of your oil filter housing. So this would go onto here, in between here, and then go up to here, and then continue its way up there. So when your engine's vibrating and moving around and everything, it doesn't wear out or make this line want to break or anything. So you have a flexible line. This will be attached to the engine, and this, or to the adapter actually. Then this will be like to a grommet on the engine, the firewall or bulkhead or whatever. Then like this, and then so as the engine's moving around, you just, you know what I mean, it's not going to wear out this or whatever, which would take a long time to do that. So I'm just saying this could be a suggestion if you wanted to do that. Look into here, and again, if you have 1/8 NPT, 1/8 NPT, they're all going to fit together and you'll be good. So I'm going to go and install this. If you have any questions, let me know. But a lot of times I've seen this online where people are confused on how to hook this up. So here's a little tutorial for you. So here's what we got. Here's the adapter thing here, the original one, and the switch. And here's our pieces and parts put together into our flex hose. And the flex hose comes over. Then I just got a bracket here. I need help to hold on to the other side to snug that down. So then we got it here with our metal line coming up. And it goes over. I'm going to follow along with the clutch and the brake line over here to go over to the other side. So let's go over to the other side next. Okay, so our line continues up here, goes over, and I have it going up into a hole here with that little rubber grommet. Let's see if I can get a hole. There you go. It's a hole that was already there, so I'm just kind of using that one. So then our coolant, let's do the coolant as well over here. So here's our coolant line, again mechanical, so you got to have a pipe. So that pipe comes over, let me start again. So here it comes up this way. I have it behind the filters, and I have it looped over around you're coming over and it's going to go right into this big hole right here. This actually had the old oil line coming up to it right here, but I used it so I could fit this fitting through the hole with a rubber grommet there. So that's why I'm using that one. And there you can see the oil line too. So there's the coolant line, the water temperature, and an oil pressure. So let's go to the other side. All right, so here we are on the other side. We have to feed everything through our mounting plate that we're just working on. So here's the flex, here's the water temperature is sitting here, and it's going through that hole back there. And then the oil pressure line is right here coming over, and I kept some in here to kind of coil around. So whenever I go and put this in, so I have some flexibility to move things around. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt to do this because it's all mechanical, where I can see where people went to electronic nowadays. So it's only a wire you have to run. But anyways, so here's our water temperature. This is our oil pressure. Got the line coming here, like our little clamps and stuff, like our little things we just showed on the workbench. So then once it's all together, you won't see anything behind it. So, whoops. All the gauges come with these little brackets that go behind, and then it'll pinch and hold it behind here, behind the hole. So all of them, they all come with these type of brackets to hold it into the hole and hold it in place so it doesn't move. So once you have this in place, nothing will move or move around or anything. Then you can position your gauges wherever way you want by twisting and turning and kind of moving the lines around a little bit. So I'm going to work on finishing this up, getting this all together, and mounting the plate. I'm going to be using these holes, like I said, that we already have here to mount it in there. So that's what I'm going to work on next. So here we are. We got our oil pressure, water temperature gauge installed with our little panel we made. So, and then our high beam, low beams are right here. And you can see how I kind of put it offset here, so I left some space here. So in the future, if I want to add like a USB port, maybe a switch for an auxiliary light, I was thinking maybe in the back or something like that. So I have space here to add on. So all I got to do is take these bolt out, the screw out, and then this is where the vent is. So I just need to take that out, pull it out, drill a hole, put a switch in, put it back in, and we'll be good to go for future things here or whatever. So. And I made this with 18 gauge steel, so it was very, very easy to make. You could see I didn't quite get it straight. I thought I did, but I didn't. So mounting the holes, and over here I kind of got it crooked, but that's all right. No one will even notice except for me every time I get in. So this is the end of the video. Thank you for everybody liking, subscribing, following. Your comments are always great. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Have a good one, stay awesome, and have a good day, and bye-bye. Little addition to the video. After starting the truck up, which you'll see in another video, is that this gauge would not read any higher than 25 or so. So it kept stopping right here. So I don't know if there's something wrong on the inside of this gauge or what or whatever, but it didn't read very high. We need to be about 50 or whatever. So what I did is I went to the local auto parts store, and I bought, it's just a Bosch one, but it's just it says Bosch, but it's just some Chinese one or whatever. But it goes up to 100 pounds, and you see it floats from 0 to 100, so I'll be able to see a little bit closer what the gauge says than this thing. It doesn't even read until that 25 pounds. So I switched it out for this. So that's, other than that, the gauges are working good. The water temperature, this is holding the lights on good up and down. So catch you later. That was just a little update on this install. So keep an eye out. Maybe even get some fancier gauges if you want to. Invest in some money or whatever. So I kept it pretty low on my install. So thank you. Bye-bye.